good. Really good.
It's one of his better songs. Yay, yay.
Ginseng.
Oh no.
Get your 6-pack of cocaine.
You gotta freeze everything.
Oh, he said 6-pack.
Some good healthy food beforehand.
Well, if it's healthy food,
all right.
you can all you want, can't you?
I think we are finally back here. Well, we now have Crimson Sage joining us, everybody. Yay! Can't believe it. It's Sage. Sage is here. Everybody, Sage. Sage is here. Sage. Sage is here.
I know what happened to Charlie Brown when he retired.
Yeah. Sage is here to save the day. Or make it more complicated. Who knows?
There's only one way to find out.
It's kind of his bag.
Roll 20!
Today's episode of Nat 20.
All right, so ominous music aside, we now have a full complement. Hopefully no one will fall asleep, Morgan. Drink your 17 espressos. Shoot them straight to the vein. And not the arm vein, the neck vein.
He said the neck vein.
All right. So as it stood, the skirmish in the GSTF lobby resulted in a near fatality, and that being Vona Lee, who took a smack to the face as if he owed Daddy some money, resulting in Seraph taking him in his loving robotic arms or appendages and flying him off to the nearest hospital for treatment. Because nobody in this group has any healing whatsoever, unless you count self-healing, which is amazing. Leaving,
The name is Id.
right, leaving Morgan and Sage and Id alone in this lobby. Now, Morgan had continued down the stairs to get to the GSTF section of the building, of the sublevel of this building, where you believe the book still to be. I'm assuming, Crimson Sage, you are also going to follow along, and Id, I cannot speak for you, but I'm also assuming that you're going to do the same thing. If you're not, and you're not happy and you know it, please clap your hands. No? Yay.
We doing the same thing.
All right.
What was that? Because I was not listening. All right.
Off to a great start.
Natural.
What am I supposed to be following along with?
And you have to roll initiative.
What? Huh? I didn't hear you.
Very nice, very nice.
Give me a sec.
You're being very cheeky. The fact that you have giant cheeks. All four of them. So can you hear us now, sir? Or is the background music too loud for everybody?
You say we got to roll for initiative?
No. That was just a an attempt to see if he's even paying attention.
We all have to roll initiative.
No, god damn it. Apparently nobody's paying attention.
What was it?
You were quiet. You were talking, but you weren't making any noise.
Who, me? Because
You don't make any noise.
That would be a 19.
dude, can you guys hear me at all? All right, hold on a second. Can you guys hear me at all?
No.
I hear you.
I don't hear you.
Barely.
Huh.
I can hear you.
All right. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is
Yes,
it better
right.
now?
Yeah. Like those newscasts where they go to the field agent who's enthusiastically talking about something that isn't being heard.
The hell?
All righty then.
How much you need to subtract from that addition, dude?
80. If this is, and no one needs to roll initiative. Jesus. So that was just being facetious to see whether or not you people were paying attention. Clearly.
Yeah, I was starting to wonder why I had to roll initiative. While
Clearly
I was
nobody
in the
was.
hospital.
Okay. Now, if you can hear me, and I'm hoping that you can, because I'm showing that my volume is fine on my end, but that doesn't mean it translates in Zoom, which we are using, which is annoying sometimes, but what can you do? Let's see. All right. So, top of the stairs. Morgan is already making his way down. The way I worked it for you, Sage, is that you did get into your combat and you were able to dispatch your enemy, because then I'd have to do a lot of time skipping in the reverse, and it could come out to be pretty ugly. And I had already resolved that at this point, that particular enemy you were able to dispatch. Now, as a consequence of your not attending the last time, you had utilized at least half of your blades that you currently carry. Fair enough? Good.
Fair enough.
I don't care if it is. That's just the way it is right now. Now, in the order of the marching order, it would be Morgan, and then you two, how are you going to proceed?
So who's there right now?
It's just
Morgan,
you, Id,
myself,
and
who else?
Morgan's already making his way down the staircase. And then it's you and Id that would just need to follow. I'm just trying to get a sense of how you guys are moving. I don't really want to spend too much time on that part. It's not that
Marching order.
important.
Who's
Yeah,
the first victim?
I am.
clearly.
Well, you won't have to. I'll be up front.
Yeah, he's already moving down the stairs. I already said that twice. Is this thing
Okay.
too loud or
So
something?
I'll be
What's
up
going
front.
on?
I'll be up front. I'll be taking lead.
No, guys, let me go first. I'm
All right.
attacked.
So he pushes past you like Trump did at the UN summit, and that would leave Id to take the rear guard, because I said he would take the rear, and that's overtly sexual. And,
Wait. Shouldn't Morgan take the rear, being that he's disabled?
dude, Morgan, or at first, Morgan went down to begin with, and he logged off. What the hell just happened? Anyway,
Who locked off? Morgan?
no, somebody discoed.
Id.
I did not log up. I'm right here.
No. Anyway,
We're missing somebody.
no, it's fine. You tuned
Hello?
into the-
All right.
Yeah.
My program crashed.
Oh.
So it was him.
Bum, bum, bum.
After
Yeah.
3,000 years. Okay, who's the hell's?
She's
Sorry,
dead.
Lou.
Bitch dead.
I assumed it was Id because he was right after my name on my screen, and then Spanky was after my name, so I assumed.
I'm still here.
My bad.
It was me. My shit crashed. Like my whole program crashed.
Yeah. And you're invisible.
That's because I don't got the camera on.
Easy, bro. Invisible. Oh God, no! Stop.
You tuned into the biggest
got
balls
Treated
of
them
them
wrong
all.
on purpose as a joke. Oh, fuck you.
Camilla? This rice tastes moldy.
Oh my lord. She's trying to kill you.
Is the rice crunchy? Because there might be glass in there.
Wow.
Like, I don't know why, but I always bleed from my butt.
Wrong.
Maybe my medicine. Hold on. I think it's my medicine that made it taste like that.
Right, the medicine.
It is poison.
Stop doing that to the poor dude. His wife loves him.
Yeah, especially with that $1 million
Life insurance.
insurance.
I mean, don't you get it? It's the love that's making her want to take him out. Why does she want to let him live in this world anymore?
I love you so much, I gotta kill you.
A lot. She wants to finally give him peace.
That's nothing. Y'all are evil. Y'all are horrible people.
We're not horrible people at
I
all.
have a question. When have you
I'm
ever
not-
changed?
So, just out of curiosity, do you realize that horrible and people are synonyms?
That was a good one, Gabe.
Damn, got no comeback for that. Fuck. Again.
Even I'm like,
Damn, he caught me on that one. Fucker.
Oh, who remembers first aid's percentile right off the back of their head? At the top of their head.
First
Not
dates
mistaken, it's
percentile?
what?
First aid. First aid. Jesus Christ.
It's like
And I'm,
30
and I'm,
plus
and I'm,
five.
I'm an atheist. Jeez.
It should be 30 plus 5.
Okay, fuck that shit. I'm looking it up. Lou, I'm downloading first aid while I'm in flight.
Okay. So can I touch it? Let's see.
I was right. 45.
Oh. There you go.
45? All right.
45 is the base percentage.
Okay, so I do not need this. I also didn't need it. What?
I don't know if it's sad or good that I know that medical skills and Rift's Ultimate Edition begins on page 313.
Because you play something none of us do.
And 320 is the piloting skill.
That's right. You're role playing. What the bloody hell? Invoke the navigation pin. Why must it start off fucking oversized?
Okay. Now, you guys are moving at a brisk enough pace. You get down to the sub-level that you need to get to. The door is, it has a magnetic lock, but you can see that the magnetic lock is not functional because the door is slightly ajar. Excuse me. I don't know what the fuck I
The
keep.
door is ajar.
The door is slightly ajar. There is a stream of light coming from it, but it's red. So all the lights that you can see coming from the door frame is just a red light signifying that there is an emergency light that's active. So the only one that would know that would be Sage at this point anyway, because this is his place of business. You two guys just see the red light when you get there. So now, Sage, the question is, what are you going to do?
Open it.
Brother.
All right. Good times. All right. You open it, you get into, so give me more than open it. And you're like, yay! Hey guys, it's me! I'm the man with the dog. You remember me?
So, is there a window to look through?
No.
We went downstairs.
Okay, so where are we exactly? We're at the basement. We're at the door.
There's
the lab?
You're at the sub level to get to the lab, the lab space. Yes.
All right. So, recalling the area, where would this door be? Exactly.
The door would exactly be on the opposite end of where you need to go. So the corridor, the entire space itself is just a huge squared space. So it has multiple corridors from when the door is. You know that to get to the lab, you have to make you have to go all the way around because the space in between is there's some office spaces, but the lab itself is on the farthest end. So you have to make essentially one big U-turn to come around. So entering into into the hallway itself, it goes straight for about 50 yards. Not 50 yards? No. Yeah. That's
50 feet?
50 yards is 150 feet.
Yes, so 50 yards, 150 feet, and then it banks. It does a sharp 90-degree turn to the right. Looking down the hall, there are offices that are open. Office doors where you like the first office door is about 40 feet away, and that door is off its hinge and slightly, and it's off its bottom hinge, and it's swinging. Not swinging, but it's at a weird. It's bent, and it's like wedged into the wall from the top of the door frame itself. There's a huge puddle of there's a huge red shiny puddle that you immediately recognize as a puddle of blood. That's right in the middle of the floor of the hallway floor, but it's definitely trailing into that office. You also see these, from your vantage point, you can see the blood itself. It's splashed up onto the left side of that wall. So it goes from right to left. The office is on the right, so it splashes up to about halfway up that wall. The ceilings themselves, they're standard 9-foot ceilings. There are fluorescents that are embedded in the ceilings itself, but now it's on the emergency red light. So the entire hallway is bathed in red light.
Okay. So I put my hand up, signaling to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to prowl up ahead.
Okay.
Trying to make no noise at all.
That's the purpose of prowling.
That way I can assess what the situation's like and see how deep I can go.
Okay, make a quick roll for prowl, please.
Got it.
All right. So you do your Batman prowl. You get within a good sight line to be able to see into that office. Probably, if I had to, I'm trying to paint the picture here, you're about 10 feet from the door. This is where the edge of that blood puddle is. The splash ups, you can now you notice that there are huge gash. There's holes, like vertical holes that are like torn into the wall. They look like claw marks, and in varying spots where they correspond with the splashes of blood. So whatever did those things did them to something or someone, causing them to eat some arterial, some blood splashing all over the place, and then there's an easily identifiable trail of four-fingered toes, footprints. Yes, they go straight down to the end of the hall, and they make that turn to the right. The office itself, when you look inside, is completely demolished. All the furniture has been thrown everywhere. You can see a body. It is barely recognizable, but it is in fact a woman's body, because you recognize she was wearing at the time a knee-length skirt. One of her breasts has been torn off. Her body's been completely mangled. There's horror looking her in the right side. Her right breast and the right side of her body looks like it's been eaten out, and her ribs are smashed. The right side of her face has been clawed off. So she died in excruciating pain just by what you're looking at. The rest of that office is completely demolished. There's blood everywhere, and you also recognize there's at least 2 more bodies, judging by the differing clothing that these people were wearing, but their bodies are completely mangled beyond recognition. That's what's in this office right now. The second office, that's another 20 feet away from this one, that door is closed. But you also see a pool, which is what I was thinking earlier, a pool of blood. Just it's not as expansive as this one, but it's coming from that office, and it takes up half the hall. So the width of the hallway is about 8 feet. So it's 8 by 9, and then it goes straight down.
All right, so
Now he's 40 feet
keep
away. Does
going.
that mean that you guys are staying and waiting for him, or what are you doing?
Continuing following him about 20 feet away.
Okay. What about an id?
Doing the same.
All right. So you guys are basically back to back, facing each other. No, I'm just kidding. That was a stupid
No.
pull around. And all right, you continue to go stage, and once you hit that corner, you start smelling this. You smell emptied bowels. So when you get to the corner, assuming that you're not just gonna go right around, like standing. You know what I mean? Like you're peek. You're gonna sneak and peek. Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So remember, the more you describe, the better we all picture it. Now, you do that, and right at the end, this is another 50 yards away. At the midpoint of this hallway, there is a massacre scene. It looks like a pile of bodies. Judging by what you can make out, because again, the light is not really helping you in terms of color. It's just distinct patterns in the clothings of the people that are there. You estimate at least six people are in that pile.
Well, I'm gonna continue being as stealthy
Now, roll your perception. I'm sorry. Before you do anything, roll your perception, because you're the one that's at this juncture, at this point in the facility.
20.
All right. So you're like, you're this 6 million peso man, which is what, like $5 American? Anyway, so now
Damn.
you can hear the sound of metal being like something scraping metal. Long, it's a ways away, but the echo is carrying to the point where you pick it up. Like,
It's like the Axeman from Resident Evil.
yes, but it's not growing. The sound is not increasing. So, and I know I'm saying this wrong, but the volume is not increasing to indicate something's coming towards you. It's at a steady level.
Can I judge by how far and faint the sound is?
With the way that this place, with the it's not very well acoustically, so it's
So taking that into account in my knowledge of the area,
mhm.
how far can I guesstimate more or less?
It's definitely around the corner. So it could be at the lab. It could be down that hallway, at any point down that third hall.
Okay, at the around the other corner you're talking about.
Correct.
So I'm gonna put my hand up and a signal to these guys to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna make my way around the corner again as silently as I can.
Right.
To try and keep approaching to assess what is ahead. And also to keep an eye out for all the open doors, because what it seems like is some of them may have gotten turned and may have done all that massacring and all that stuff. So I'm not sure how many of them may be down here. And my first judgment is that they might all be concentrating on that door. So I'm hoping that that's the case, because then it'd be easier to kind of herd them, like knowing the layout, is there another exit other than the one that we just came from?
There is an emergency exit at the end of this. At the end of the second, when you made that 90-degree turn, at the end of that hall, there is an emergency exit.
Okay, so if my assessment's correct and these things are hoarded there, trying to get in, because obviously I'm not seeing anything come at me yet. What I'm going to do in order to keep these guys safe, so I'll probably make as much noise as I can in order to lure them toward me so they can give chase, and I'll go out the other exit. Of course, I'm risking that these things will throw the wall at me, but...
Okay. You make your way down. You guys turn that... So I need you to make another prowl roll, please. And you guys are coming up as he signals you. You move up. You saw the things that I described at first. That office, the second office with the door closed. It's under 98?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's not go rolling another 100, huh?
Shut
anyway, up. Once you hit that corner, you see that carnage, that scene of carnage, and he's moving towards it. Morgan, you do hear it. Your perception is such that you also hear the sound. For you, Id, you would need to make that roll.
I'm like the Sentinel and shit.
Yeah, essentially. Okay, you do hear it as well. It's like just something's just scraping. It's like it's like a rock scraping against metal. It's like it's at a steady pace, and the closer you get down that hall, the louder that sound becomes. Because again, the acoustics are it's sharp angles, it's low ceilings, so you do hear it, and it gets louder as you get towards it, but it doesn't reverberate like if it was a bigger open space. Once you get to, you can see the door itself is undamaged and unopened. There is an exit sign right above it. It has one of those bars that if you open, like those alarm boxes that if you push it, they go off.
Alarm trigger.
Yeah. So that is there. It's still, and it looks undamaged. When you hit that corner and you pass that scene with all those bodies, that's where the smells are coming primarily from these people, because you void your bowels and bladder when you die, and that much concentrated, it's pretty disgusting. And you have no choice but to step through all their blood, because it's a giant pool of it that goes on both sides, unless you flip over it, which I would like for you to do if you want. Please roll that so you can slip and fall on face first in a pool of blood. That would be awesome. No, don't do that. Once you get to the other end, you can see there is one of those. We'll call them the monster sentinels. It's just standing there. It's standing with its as you're looking at it, you're looking at its right side. That's the smaller of the two deformed arms, as it's just it's just looking straight ahead, because there's another 90-degree turn to the right. And it's looking from left to right. Okay, so its back is to the left, and its front to the right, because it's facing the right-hand turn.
Okay.
And the sound is coming from where they are.
So how many am I seeing?
You're only seeing the one for right now, but the sound is not coming from it.
The sound's coming from ahead.
Yeah, from whatever it's staring at, that's what the sound's coming from.
And it's blocking my point of view?
Yes. There's a 90-degree turn. You would have to literally It's another 50 yards. You'd have to make your way towards it and then turn round that corner to see where the sound's coming from.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna silently move up,
Mm-hmm.
get to where it's at. It has its back to me or its side.
Side. You're looking at the right side of its face.
All right.
Its face, its right shoulder, its right leg.
So it's at the corner.
It's you know, you're looking at its side. It's profile. So it's looking.
No, but okay, but it's got its back to me.
No.
Profile aside.
No, I'm trying to understand. Okay,
So
I'm at-
if it's
And it's at the
facing you,
corner?
imagine if it were facing you, and it just turned to its left. So it's not its back is to the wall, to the its left. The hallway turns 90 degrees to the right. It's facing the hall. So it's essentially you're looking at it like this.
To the windows, to the walls.
Just standing to the side.
all right. So if I put myself up on the opposite wall, I can literally be on its blind side.
To
If
the
I make-
left, that is a possibility. I mean, the lighting isn't super bright, but there is you would know that there's a potential that it could spot you if you are not careful.
Okay. So I'll do that.
Okay. As you make your way, you're going to need to make another prowl roll. Don't do it just yet. I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to go to Patch. Patch, you pull up to the building finally. Assuming that Seraph had let you know that he was taking Vona to the nearest hospital that hasn't been collapsed. When you pull up to the lobby, you see all the carnage. You actually see that the deformed the deformed sentries on the floor. It's trying to move. It's slowly moving to the side. It's as you're coming up this, you have to get out of the car and walk up to the lobby of the building. Let me take a step back. You know that they came into the garage. The garage door is closed. You have control. You could either go through the lobby or you can go through the garage. It's completely up to you. Either way, you're going to end up in the lobby. But you may come at it from a different perspective.
They went in through the garage, didn't they?
They did, yes. You know that. You know that to be a certainty. You were monitoring them in the cameras.
So then I will go in through the garage. Because
Okay.
the garage was clear.
The garage is absolutely clear, yes. There is the elevator, but that's down. The stairwell that they went through that doesn't have any. The stairwell itself doesn't have any cameras in this spot of the building, but that's the only way to get to the lobby from the garage.
All right.
All right, you can mute yourself.
So, sorry. What did you say?
Hey, we're all listening to this dumbass.
I know the fucking war threw me off.
I muted you. Don't worry about it. You can lay back and bask in the glow of your one light. Okay. So yeah. So this you're already familiar with the layout of this portion of the building, this garage level. You know that the elevators are offline, but there is a stairwell that the rest of the group did ascend to get to the lobby.
All right. Am I trying to catch up to them or trying to help them to get down? It would be faster to go to the elevator to go straight down, right? just to go to the room they're trying to get to, or is there?
From
Or is there
this
room-
from this elevator. I can't believe I just said elevator. From this elevator bank. From these elevators don't go to the lab. You'd have to go up, across, and down to that section of the building.
Up, across, and down.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so then I guess I'll try and catch up to them. Try and be as quiet as I can. I don't want to fuck up anything.
Okay. The stairwell's clear. There's a horrible stench that's coming up that's emanating from that, even more so than anything else. Once you get to the first, when you get to the lobby, the doors is slightly ajar because they went through it and tried to sneak past. You come out, and now you can see the head of this thing as it looks like it's moving slowly, and it's trying to maneuver itself, but its one arm, it's not, the bulk of its back has this one arm elevated to the point where it can't move, and the other arm is pinned. But you can see it's starting to, you can hear it changing as it's growing and it's cracking the marble of the security desk.
Oh shit!
The base of that marble, it's just like it's using that the one strong arm to push to try to get itself up. But you can see that there's a puddle of some liquid that was thrown on the ground, and that's making it slick, so it can't really, it has no leverage.
All right. And
He is, once you come out that door, you didn't even have to come out fully. You could just peek your head in and look. To the left is the elevator bays, and to the right is where the security desk is. This thing is about 30 feet away. The security desk is 20 feet away. So it's on the left-hand side of that hallway. So the opposite wall, going to your right, there's the security desk. So you can see the door, the swinging door that the security guards use to go in and out. And the rest of it is made of marble. And this thing, you can see its upper torso. So shoulders and head.
all right.
The one thing you do notice, by the way, is that its face is completely swollen to the point where you don't even see its eyes, and it's making these weird gurgling noises as if its own muscles are choking it. Like.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, like I said, the security. So I don't see no other doors that they might have went through. I just see the desk. the
From your
elevator
vantage
bank?
point, you can see the rest. You only have a narrow corridor to see your line of sight. You can see the lobby. You can see the busted glass that's on the opposite end. So from where you're standing, there's at least 60 to 70 feet between you and the end of that lobby, or the beginning, depending on your vantage on where you stand.
All right. So, I'm gonna try and sneak over towards the elevator bank.
Okay. Do you have the prowl skill? Because if you don't, then what we'll do is we'll just make a base roll using the base for prowl with a penalty.
Yeah, I got prowl.
Okay. Go ahead and roll it. All right.
I
Great.
failed.
Go to the bathroom.
All right. As you're moving, you just happen to. This is one of those fancy buildings with marble everywhere. Like the lobby itself is marble walls, marble floors, very shiny, very brightly lit, and glass is enclosed in glass. So with that, you're trying to sneak by this thing without making any noise, and one of your weapons just happens to scrape along the wall loud enough for it to stop and turn it turns its head towards you. It almost gives you a fright, because you're just like, holy shit, this thing can see me, but you know it can't because its eyes are swollen shut. So immediately you understand that it's following the sound. So now it's moving even more. And it's starting to inch its way up. Like it's using it's turning to its right to use its little arm as a little bit of leverage to pull itself up from the ground. But it's still having some difficulty with the substance that they threw on the ground.
All right. So now that I know they can't see, I'm gonna take is there any glass under me?
No.
Any glass near me?
The glass itself is on the opposite end of the lobby.
Okay. So I'm gonna pull out a 50-cent piece and throw it past it. No, a dollar piece.
Mm-hmm.
And throw it past it, behind it.
So if it's directly in front of you, to the left.
If it's directly in front of me and it's looking at me,
Yes.
I'm gonna toss it at it over its head.
Okay.
So it lands behind it.
All right. Doing that has the effect that you intend, because once it hears that sound, it then again turns and not unfortunately, but what it does is it turns, it just drops and it starts reaching with its other hand to try to grab. It's trying to reach over and trying to grab at whatever the sound is.
Is it being as noisy as I think it is?
Yeah. So you imagine
then-
the sound from like The Walking Dead. It's like.
So I'm gonna try to use that. I'm gonna try to use the noise that it's making on its own
Mhm.
as cover and go towards the elevator bank.
Okay. Make another prowl check.
I got 3 points less than last time.
Okay. Once again, you maneuver over, and you just happen to catch that marble is making it. Once you hit it, the thing just turns again. It's like, "Rah, yeah," and it uses its arm, its giant arm and elbow to hit. It elbows the counter, and the thing just crumbles. So now it has a handhold to pull itself up. It's slow, but it's extraordinarily frightening, considering what you've seen these things been able to do, and it's starting to pull itself up.
I keep going.
Yeah, right. You easily maneuver around. You can see the puddle of the whatever it was slipping in, so you're able to maneuver around that. And the rest of the lobby, from where you are, you're at the far right end, okay, of the building. Your right, anyone's left coming in. The length of the rest of this lobby extends for about a good distance. The elevators and you've been to the lab before. You've been to the lab, so you know where it is. It's in the center. It's in this. There's 3 elevator bays, one to the left, one in the center, and one all the way on the right. And on between each one of the elevator bays, there's these long security desks for people to check in, the turnstiles for people to go past, magnetic key locks. Most of those have been destroyed, and you already know the doors to go to, so you make your way towards it. And just painting a better picture, so there's an understanding that you have familiarity with this much at least. The elevators you can see the door, you can see a huge pools of blood everywhere. There's a couple of those bodies as you're making your way towards, of those things with their heads smashed, and there's one that was once you get to the staircase, there's one that's leaning against the stairs going up, that has been cut and slashed to near ribbons, and then there's the stairwell going down, which is where you need to go and where you're making your way towards. Okay, so I need to take a quick pee break, so I'll be right back.
All right.
And we are back. Thank you for waiting. Hopefully somebody's watching us and loving us and subscribing to the channel. Blah, blah, blah. You guys... Right. I don't like that. That was creepy. You get to...
And yeah.
you get to the staircase. You saw what you saw. Assuming you're going down, you get to the... I'm assuming you're going down. You are going down, yes.
Yeah, I'll go around the thing. and
Okay.
I go down.
you get.
I'm taking.
This is the wrong kind of thing
what
for
I'm-
going down.
What I'm doing is when I get to that creature,
Mm-hmm.
it's one of those specimens, right?
Yes.
I take samples.
Give me a
I
little
collect
bit,
samples.
a little bit more than that.
I collect tissue from this it's cut open. He says cut in ribbons, right?
Oh yeah, he's hacked up.
What parts are exposed?
What parts aren't is the better question.
All right, so I take a sample of brain matter, a sample of its and a sample of its muscle tissue.
Okay, those are acquired. Yes.
Yep, take
All
those
right.
two and then go around it.
Okay.
I take a blood sample too when I'm at it since I'm there.
Okay.
Might as well.
So that's it. That'll take you about 5 or 6 minutes to collect, with the understanding that you are that biology is not one of your major fields, but you are doing it. What was I gonna say? You get down to that bottom level. Once you get down there, you see the scenes that I had described. The first thing that's different from what I described earlier, however. The door to the there, you can see some things moving at the farthest end of that hall. Now you have optics. Yes, you have
Yeah.
Assuming what are your specific optics that you describe them for me, because I'm not looking at your character sheet.
I'm gonna go double check which I do because I
Mhm.
don't want to confuse it with my dinosaur.
Correct. He's playing a dinosaur in another game. An Ankylosaurus with tech magic. Is it a techno wizard or just a tech?
No, it's the same class. So he's a super invention.
A super invention.
It's the same character. It's the same
same
setup and everything
Okay.
too.
So
The
you're
only difference is that he's
It's
higher
an
level.
Ankylosaurus.
so you're,
Yeah.
you're essentially a terrible thunder lizard.
Yeah. No, I do not.
Okay. So you can make out movement at the far end of that hall. And it's rounding that corner. Okay, so it's nearer to the ground. It's about halfway up. You can't really judge. I'm trying to give you... It's essentially some horror movie trope where once you get there, you see this long trail of this black liquid because it's the lights are red and it's not illuminated fully. There's a long streak of black. There's a black puddle. And the only reason why I gave Sage more information is because his training would allow for him to have that information more so than anybody else in this group. Now that's what you see at the end of that hall. When you take stock of that image, there is that second door that's about 2/3 of the way down the hall. That one starts to move open. As it moves open, right at the base of the door, you see this hand reach around the frame and starting to pull itself through. There's it's a man. It's a man. He's like, he has one of those wreaths, like he's bald at the top and he has the hair along the edges
Crown.
of it's like a crown, yeah. But that he's a huge chunk of no, I keep saying huge, but a big chunk of his skull is missing. You can see the gray matter that's dangling from it, and it's pulling himself out, and that part of his face is gone, but it's obviously mutated. It's obviously not alive. It shouldn't be alive with the amount of damage that the skull had taken, but it's now it's moving out of that hallway at a slow pace, horror movie style, just pulling itself. This is a Call of Cthulhu module. Anyway,
You just now realized?
I just realized that, yeah. Because you guys would have suffered insanity at least 30 games ago.
I'm gonna bite all their throats out.
Anyway, nice. So that thing is in between. It's at the furthest end of the halls. Like I said, it's 2/3 down that first hallway. Now, you already know the layout. You've been to this lab. This is Brian's lab. You've been here. You've talked with him. You know where it is. Your intelligence allows for you to at least have that mapped out in your brain already. So to get to where they are, you know you're going to need to go at least 150 yards in, 2 turns. 2 right turns, and at each turn is 150 yards.
All right. And I don't know an alternate route.
There is no alternate route. They designed it specifically so that anyone that enters this lab has to go that route, so that it allows for them to send support teams or ESU teams in order to stop anyone from taking anything from this place.
Damn it. So this thing's coming around the corner, right?
Mhm.
And I have to go that way.
Yes.
It has to turn towards my direction eventually, right?
Correct.
The offices are. Could I get into on the inside of the offices?
The first one is 40 feet away. The next one is another 20. So that first door, that's where that big puddle was. That's where the initial drag marks for that black liquid, which you will eventually know to be blood, that's the origin point of that complete drag mark going all the way to the end of that the hall and turning to the right. The secondary door is the one that you're concerned with, because that's the one where the thing is coming out of. So you're talking 40, 60 feet down that hall.
60 feet down that hall.
Mm-hmm. I know I said 2/3, but if I were better at math, I wouldn't be playing with you guys. I would be, on a beach somewhere counting my stolen millions.
Yeah, you're right. I won't be here role playing either. That's not true. Anyway,
No, that's not true. I'd probably still do that.
That thing does not look like it's moving fast at all, right?
No.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into that first door with the blood with the puddle around.
All right, say that again. Someone's.
I'm gonna go into that first door
Okay.
with the black liquid. I'm gonna come up to it and look inside real quick.
All right, the same scene that I described earlier, except there are no bodies.
All right, so then I'm gonna slide into that room.
Okay.
Looking around. Is there another way out of this room?
No.
No.
Mm-mm. One way in, one way out.
All right. So I'm gonna try and listen for it. See if it's gonna come up my way.
Well, the thing from the other door further ahead?
Yeah.
Okay. You hear it. You hear that same sort of bubbling gurgle that's coming from it as it's dragging itself across the floor. Its hands are smacking against the liquid, and it's dragging itself. The problem is, not the problem. Are you putting yourself in a line of sight, or how are you doing that? Because you said you were listening. I just want to make sure that I understand it.
At the doorway.
Mm-hmm.
I have my the door. The way the door opens is in front of me.
Yeah.
I'm at the part that swings the open part of the door.
Yep.
And I have my left side of my head at the doorway, so I can hear.
Okay. It doesn't sound like it's coming towards you. sounds like it's moving away from you.
And then that goes straight and makes a right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Fuck. Do I know I should have asked from the very beginning. Do I sense some supernatural?
Oh yeah, you absolutely do. I don't know if that is an automatic ability or something you have to key up.
It's on all the time.
Okay. So then, yeah, once you entered the building, that sensor registered as supernatural. That first thing that first creature in that lobby registered as supernatural.
All right. So. All right. So I'm gonna come back onto the hallway,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna see where it's at.
Okay, so it moved it fully moved out into the hall. Both of its legs from the thighs down are gone. And by gone, I mean not severed, but they're in such tatters that there's no possible way that this thing can stand. So it's just pulling itself along. It is metamorphosing. So you know its body is stretching and moving. It seems to be taking on the shape of those other sentries, except the damage that it took is preventing it from fully forming, if that makes any sense. So a lot of the muscle tissue has been torn. It's not knitting, it's not healing, and the legs are completely shredded. So it's just pulling itself along as it's changing.
All right. So this is what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
How much space between the corner and that creature?
About 40 feet.
About 40 feet?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what I want to do is this. Can I use my sense of balance to wall run past it and keep going?
You can make one attempt at it, yes. I'll give you that.
That's what
Wait. Hold on a second. Are you using gymnastics or acrobatics?
I'm using gymnastics.
Okay. So make the roll you're going to have, because this is not something that you're normally trained for. You're going to have a negative 20 to the percentile.
So then my roll, okay, negative 20.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to roll under 59.
Okay.
I got a 12.
Okay. So you easily do that. Doing that, and you land in front of it. You land in that. You almost slip in the slickness of that liquid, which at some point you're going to recognize as blood, but the lighting is not allowing you. But you almost slip, and the thing regards you. Its face again it's swollen to the point where the other eye, the right eye that's there, is shut. But the sounds that you make immediately make it move faster. Like it's using the newly formed claws in that oversized hand to spike into the ground and pull itself faster. And the fact that the floor is slick with blood, it's allowing it to move faster than you thought. Okay, so moving, you're easily going to be able to outrun it. However, if you stand still, you know it's going to catch you.
So when I get to when I notice that,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a flick another coin against the wall near it,
Mm-hmm.
so it could bounce, so I could bounce and grab its attention.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go now to Seraph and Vona, but I'm gonna make a perception roll. If it fails it, then it does hear the coin. If it makes it, then it's still regarding you and going towards you. Okay. So you guys, Patch, I'm sorry, Seraph, you're flying in. You can see the ERs in sight as you're coming in for a landing. Vona, as you're drifting in and out of consciousness, you feel weightless. You feel cool, and as the wind is rushing by your body, you're in a tremendous amount of pain. But in your head, you hear a familiar voice. All right, it's a grumpy old lady who you've spoken to before, and there's no sense that the voice has any malice to it. It's like, oh, you poor boy, what have you done? I warned you. Your youth will get you killed. When you snap back into consciousness, you're still, again, you're in a negative, so you should be in a coma. And you did fail that roll, so so your eyes flicker open. You can see, one of your eyes is just all bloody because the damage that you took. It just completely burst the blood vessels in him, and you can see the chest of this it's like a metal plate, and you're suspended in air as your eyes are flicking. The most that you can move is just a little from your left to your right, and your eyes are trying to focus, but it's completely dark, and there's not that much light reflecting off of Seraph, and because of his coloring, you're not able to discern where you are. But when you guys land, as you're coming into where the emergency room is, you Seraph, there's three figures as you're coming in, and you're zooming in. You regard them. You use your optics to zoom in, and it's just looks like this. There's a human female, white hair, approximately 85 years old. She has a cane. She has gold necklaces, gold earrings. She has a gold shawl with these intricate patterns. And to her left and to her right, there are two gentlemen. There are two human males, approximately 35 to 40 years of age, but they are similarly dressed to Vona. As you come in and you land, the only reason I'm sticking it because it's part of the storyline, but for your character's perspective, they're not a threat. Right. One of them does have actually they both have handguns, but they're in their holsters, and they're not, and they have these they have suit jackets on, but with t-shirt and jeans and boots, and they're holstered as they're with their hands crossed at the wrists. When you land, the old woman calls out. She's like, "Excuse me."
I look briefly while still walking in the same direction towards the ER.
Please, may I see the boy? It is important.
He is dying.
Oh, I can see that. He is quite foolish as she's shuffling towards you. And you are very brave for it. What was the word? Robot? Oh, no, you're not that. You have a soul. I could see it. Clear as day.
If I had eyebrows, I would raise them.
She's, she has like three teeth in her mouth. She has a big, wide grin as she's walking towards you. And when she gets to you, she stands no more than 5 feet tall. And that's with her just trying to stretch as she looks at him. She's like, please, bring him here. Let me see this foolish boy. And I'm assuming you're going to let her examine him. But that's up to you.
Yes, I will.
Okay. When you lower her to him, you lower him to her, excuse me. It looks at him. She's like, oh, silly boy. This is. Oh, you. And she starts mumbling. It's incoherent, but there's a rhythm to it. it seems like a chanting. Again, incoherent. You recognize it sounds Slavic. You're not 100% familiar with any Slavic languages, unless I'm mistaken.
No.
Okay. And she she takes one of her extremely shaky hands and extends it to one of her men, who produces from his pocket what looks like just a nondescript box. It's flat, it's rectangular, and he opens it, and there in it there's a medallion. It's composite. It's a composite silver and gold with intricate inlays, and she lifts it up by this leather strap, and she folds it in her hands twice to where the medallion is firmly against the flat of her knuckles, and she holds it to him and touches him as one of the other guy to her right takes her cane, and she reaches over and grabs him. As she does that, Vona, you feel this rush of energy as you like you're back to half hit points, half STC. Now, when you snap out of it, you can see, and I can't. What was her name? Because I'm looking through my notes and I know I wrote it, but are you there?
Yep.
Okay. Do you remember her name?
I do not. Let me see if it's in this character sheet. I don't remember.
Okay. In any event,
It's Lavinia.
okay. So you can see her smiling face, but something's off about her. She seems a little bit more gaunt, and she's like, foolish boy. What were you thinking? You've neither the power nor the smarts to take one of those things on. Here. And she hands the medallion to you, and as she does, she sways just a little bit, like as if she's suddenly about to faint, and both of her men reach over to support her. This will protect you, but this will protect you, but at a cost. Remember that. She's like, I will not. It's just like, I cannot do that again. He's like, don't be foolish. It's like we know what. I know what you do. I do not approve. This is their doing. And she, she points to these to this couple, this white couple as they're walking up, and they look like they work at the hospital, and they were out just for a smoke break as you came in. Both of them would have failed the horror factor for Seraph as he flew in, so they were just staring and stunned, saying it's their fault. They did this, them and their kind. She gnarls her finger at them, and that medallion will protect you, but it will not save you again. The cost is too high. Remember that. And she turns, and they lead her back into the car. It's like my debt to your family has now been paid.
Oh, thank her.
Okay. The medallion itself gives you a natural armor rating of a 10. And you have two charges of what would amount to super healing or divine healing. So keep that in mind. So now you feel way better. Now this is where you guys are at.
So what do I see as far as his life signs and condition?
His vitals, it's almost as if within 30 seconds he went from critical to stable. It's unexplained. His excuse me for a second. This thing is louder than I thought it was going to be. On my end, I don't know about you guys. But, all right. There we go.
Got the cops coming somewhere.
Yeah, it's not on my end. Now,
I live in the Bronx.
yeah, I remember those sounds. I don't miss them. The curiosity the issue is that you know that he is you understand that he is a version of a metahuman. However, if he could have healed himself, he would have done it. And the transfer of energy, you notice the spike of energy from her, like her it's like a bioelectric energy just spiked in her and was transferred into Vona, which you surmise caused his rapid healing.
I keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
I see that she and the two men are walking away.
Yes,
Continue taking
they help
Mona
her.
into
They
the hospital.
help her into their SUV. They're driving a black SUV. And say that again. I'm sorry, I was talking when you were talking.
Yeah, I note the license plate,
Okay.
make and model license plate,
Mm-hmm.
and take him into the ER. Just walk right in.
Okay.
And as I walk in, I see whoever immediately the triage, and I say, "This man needs medical attention."
So all you hear is just like, oh, there's a panic sounds from people waiting in the waiting room. There's a woman that is behind a glass door. The doors to the ER are magnetically sealed, and with a keypad to get in. It's a standard setup for an emergency room. There is a check-in, a triage station, and there looks like a human nurse, and she's shocked as you come in carrying this person, and so she snaps out of it and she walks over and seeing that Vona is still covered in blood. She calls for a gurney. They bring one out.
I put him on it.
And you put him on it. Now, Vona, you are for the most part healed to where you can move. Your bones have been knitted. Your face is restored, but you're still covered in your own blood.
Right. Before he actually gets me in there,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell him I don't need to go in because she fixed the majority of what I needed.
Okay. Now, understanding the way this character is, even if you told him to do that, he's still bringing you in.
Yeah, I realize that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So they lay you down, and the woman's like, "What happened?" She's talking to Vona, but you're standing there, so she's not ignoring you. You can see that she's on the opposite side of the table. Her vitals are extremely elevated. Her heart rate, her blood pressure.
I touch the computer and transfer. I don't even touch the computer really. This hospital has a Wi-Fi network, so I literally just download the information about him and his injuries and his condition and the change in his condition to her system so she can see it.
Okay,
including how he received the injuries, not video, just in text.
Okay. So she's looking at her. She was typing in her iPad because that's what they're using nowadays. And you immediately, you take control of it. it changes the code to the point where she's obviously notices it and is trying to. She's just like hitting the thing, and all of a sudden his vitals come up and all this information. She's just like, she looks at you. She's like, did you do that?
Yes, ma'am, I did. I must leave now. He is in your hands.
Thank you. As you turn and do your RoboCop things, like there will be trouble.
Yeah, as he's going off, I'm gonna tell him make sure they get out with that book.
So she's just like there's a panic, not a panic, but she's startled at the fact that you can talk. Given the lowdown of all your injuries, you shouldn't even be conscious, and you're just like, make sure you get the book. But okay, he's walking out. What are you doing aside from telling him to make sure they get the book? Are you gonna stay
right now? Aside from that, my
Mhm.
goal is to make as little a scene as possible, which refusing treatment would probably cause a bigger scene.
Okay. All right.
So
Go ahead. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
normally I would have gone to the tribe's doctors, right? Or
Yeah, I mean, you don't
yeah.
shy unless you're telling me that your tribe shies away from using Western medicine.
No, but like there, like in real life, a tribe of Romani, when they actually do settle, on the rare occasion they settle, they will actually have members of the community that are the community doctors. They'll have their own practice, but the tribe's medical records and the practice's medical records are kept separate.
Gotcha.
Because it's more of like a living off the grid, leaving little traceable footprints sort of thing.
All right, and that's understood. However, Seraph didn't know any of that, so he just he did what logic would have dictated to have happen.
Yeah. Regardless, like I get to the point where the doctor will come in and like, that meta healed me outside and I'm fine now. I can go, but in a crowded lobby, that wouldn't be the greatest thing.
Okay,
right?
so that's going to play itself out offline because it really makes no other impact to the story itself as a background information. And then what are you doing after that? Like you can AMA to leave on your own accord or wait, because I don't know if you've been in the ER lately. They still haven't changed from the 18-hour waits that normally occur.
Yeah, I'm aware. I spent 7 hours waiting for them to X-ray my broken arm so that they could tell me that
it was broken.
Because I had no insurance and had no money, that they couldn't do anything for me.
Oh,
Like,
awesome. That's awesome.
Great.
It's awesome. The American medical system is awesome.
Which took another 3 hours after that. So 10 hours in the ER for them to tell me, your arm's broken. I broke it. I know it happened.
All right, so walk me through what you're doing afterwards, because this process is going to take some time.
Afterwards, I don't have Dr. Acosta's information, and as far as I'm aware, he's the one that brought me in. I got the card. I got a card from Agent Rivers, if I'm not mistaken.
You did.
So I'm gonna go ahead and call her and let her know what happened.
Okay.
Excluding the identity of the source of healing.
Gotcha.
That there was a source of healing, but not gonna disclose the identity.
Okay. All right. Understood. Okay. Seraph, you're making your way back, assuming? Yes?
Yes, I'm actually reaching out and calling Steve.
Okay.
Dad, where are you?
That startles you because of the tension of the situation. Just so that we're clear. What you're doing, you're just like you're trying to Scooby-Doo tiptoe through it, and all of a sudden this noise is in your ear. You're like, I think I shit myself. Nope, I did. I shit myself. But anyway, so the thing is crawling behind you. You're trying to make your stealthy move, and then now, I'm sorry. Now Seraph.
Who? What? Where? What?
It's like, Dad,
your
where are
heart
you?
rate is- Dad, your vitals are elevated. Are you
Yeah.
okay?
You made me pee on myself just now. Where are you at? You okay? You good?
Yes, I am fine, Dad. I have dropped off the. I do not know his name. Actually, do I know his name? Did I?
Yeah, you would have known his name. Yeah.
Yes, I have dropped Rona Lee at the hospital. I am
Oh, all right.
coming back. I am going back to the building. You are there now?
Yeah, I'm working my way down. I just ran past one of these creatures that was horribly maimed, so I couldn't stop me. I'm working my way down. I sent him the path that I took.
Okay.
So I log that. I will be there shortly.
Okay. Now I'm going to take you back to the original triumvirate. Hope you guys are there. Crimson Sage, you want to sit up there? There he is. Crimson Shine, I should say. Look at that. Look at that dome. Morgan, are you with us? Or are you taking a nap? And Id, are you with us as well?
I might be.
You might be.
Bitch, I might be. You got to say it that way, man.
Oh my God, bitch, are you there, bitch? Big balls,
I'm here.
salty nuts. I'm gonna keep using that. That's just hilarious to me.
Oh,
All right, so while Morgan is doing whatever he is doing, Steve, if you could text him to let him know that we're back. Oh, there he is! Yay! Ah! Hooray!
Yeah, say something. I'm nearby.
Okay. You guys get to Sage. You get to the the other corner. You make that turn. Well, actually, no. You were trying to sneak past it. I'm sorry. Now make your prowl check.
Again,
Okay. You get
those
to
rolls are getting a little too high.
you get to it. You guys, as you hit that corner, you can see what he's doing. Now, you don't have any fantasy optics or night vision. You're just using your regular old human eyesight in a long ass hallway with red lights that aren't necessarily all along the hall. So there's pockets of darkness between each one of these lights. Okay? Now, you can see him as he passes one of the last light. You can see at the end of the hall a silhouette of one of these things. And he's making his way towards it and he sneaks. You can see him like sneaking behind it. The tension is such that you're both like, oh shit, he's gonna die. You get past it. You get to its back. Now you have its back. So to go around it, so it essentially fills up the entrance to that corridor. So if it makes that sharp right, and you come around it, there's a full 10 feet of space from that left-hand back wall to where the wall on the right, which would be the beginning of that hallway. You get what I'm saying? He stands right between
Yeah, gotcha.
in that space in
So-
between. And his bulk is such that you can sneak to his
Gotcha.
sneak
No.
around him from his left-hand side. Right? However, the space, you're looking at the space between, there's a strong possibility that you might touch him or make a noise.
That's fine. Can I see?
AKA, there will be a penalty if you try to prowl by him.
Can I see down the hallway?
Yes, you can. At the very end, you can see these things. There's at least 3 of them that are trying to pull at the door. There's something holding them back. What you see is the sentries. They're pulling at it. However, about 5 or 6 feet behind each one of them, it looks like their skin is just pulled. You remember how I described it down when you were first going down the train tunnel?
Mm-hmm.
The skin on their backs is pulled to the point where you can see this other shape. You can see a head. It's like this. Their skin is pulled to the point where there's a head, and you can see the silhouette of shoulders, and they're pulled away from it. So these things are pulling at trying to pull at this door, but it looks like the backs are trying to move away from them. And I hope I'm describing that right, so that you get an accurate picture of how gross this is.
It looks like their shadows are trying to pull them in the other direction.
Correct.
While they're trying to the door.
However, their shadows are made of them.
Gotcha.
It's their actual flesh that's taking that shape.
Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use ricochet shot,
Okay.
so I can take one of my daggers, so it could ricochet off the corner,
Mm-hmm.
attracting the one that's in front of me in that direction, and hopefully the others can be attracted by the noise as well.
All right. Go back and say that again. So you're gonna ricochet. Remember, I'm talking. They're almost at the other end of the hall. So you're looking at another 100 yards.
Yeah, I can.
No, not 100 yards. 100 feet. Excuse me.
I'll tell you right now how far I can throw.
Mm-hmm. Is this an ability that?
Yes.
Okay. Because ricochet shot is a called shot. You still need if you're trying to hit specifically one of those things, you're gonna need a base 15 with no strike bonus.
But that's the reason why I have that ability.
Okay.
I get my bonuses.
What I'm
And I
saying,
have
at its base, at the ricochet shot itself is a natural 15 with no strike bonus. So, what your ability counteracts that or gives you the bonus, allows you to add bonuses.
I will tell you right now.
Mm-hmm. While he's doing that, he's cloaked in the shadow, so you don't know what he's actually doing, but he is directly behind this thing, and there's only like a 3 or 4 foot space from where he would be against that wall to where the thing is standing.
I'm gonna think to myself, damn, where is Vona in that shotgun?
Okay. All right. What it is that it reduces my strike bonuses by half.
Okay.
All right. The character can bounce arrows, crossbow bolts, or thrown objects. In this case, it's a thrown object for me.
Mm-hmm.
Off hard surfaces and angle the shot in such a way that the object ricochets, bounces off, and hits a completely different target.
Okay.
The shot can be bounced off as many as 3 different surfaces before hitting its target. This inflicts only 1 point of damage to each of the ricocheting surfaces and full damage to the target. Reduce bonuses to strike by half. The real target will have no opportunity to parry or dodge. Counts as only 1 attack action.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's still a 15, but you get to add half your bonuses. Now, you're going to
half my
ricochet.
bonuses.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I meant. I'm sorry.
Which would be
Now, you're ricocheting it. There's 3. Okay. The one nearest. There's one in the middle, and then there's one that's up. You can see that there's 3. You know that there's 3 because you can see you count out 3. But the third one, that one is is obscured by the first two. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's two behind the first one. The first one is the main. is the
Yes.
lead. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, what I'm gonna do, since I can throw more than one dagger at a time, I'm going to ricochet them. Right. So, the way it hits the angles,
Mm-hmm.
the left hand are going to return to hit the one that's in front of me. But I'm going to make sure that it hits 3 times so it can literally turn towards the noise. So that way it could get a full hit, because I'm calling a headshot.
So the one in front of you, you're gonna try to ricochet it so that it bounces and hits it, and comes
Yeah.
and comes back to hit it. Okay.
It comes back to hit it in its head. I'm calling
Okay.
a headshot. The one from my right, I'm going to angle it so I can hit the lead.
Okay.
Okay.
What's the range that you can throw it?
346 feet.
Holy shit. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, better than some guns.
Yeah. All right, this is for the left hand.
He's better than some guns, except he can't use guns.
That's a crit.
Okay. What's your
Second
bonus
one.
again?
8 to
Okay.
22.
So your bonus to throw is 16 total?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, actually, 15.
All right.
But
So
you round up.
right. All right. So that.
Oh, that's a hit.
No, it's
What?
not. You needed a 15.
No, actually, it's an 11. So that's the one for the lead. I missed.
Mm-hmm. The
One
one
for the-
in front of you, you do hit.
I hit.
So
That-
what's the damage? And you were doing the averages, yes?
No, it does full damage.
Okay.
And he gets opportunity to dodge or parry.
He does not or does?
Does not.
Okay. What is the damage?
Hold on. Give me a moment.
Hurry up, man. You're supposed to know this stuff. I hate you.
As he's doing that, I'm surveying the area to grab any materials I can use as a weapon or something to distract.
Why'd you roll perception?
To
Oh,
see
I'm
about
sorry.
that.
That's you. There
Alright, so-
there are a couple of offices between where you are. It's laid out the same. But there's nothing in the hallway from where you're standing. I'm sorry. Go ahead. What was
Okay,
the damage?
Damage is
Yeah.
137 points to the head.
Wow. Okay.
Damn, I'm doing 1d4 plus 3.
But you're a
It's only
natural
'cause it's a
genius.
crit. Also, I don't double the strength bonus, do I?
No.
Okay, so it's just the damage, which is 48 times 2 is... No, my bad. It's times 3 for me. So that's 48 times 3. That's 144 plus 41. 185 points of damage to the head.
Okay. So
So
you like cling. You guys in true in anime style, you can see he just a glint of a flash from the blade as it bounces, and the things it just stands there for a second, but then the head just falls forward as it falls to his knees and falls forward itself. The second one sails past and it's like cling, 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 and they all stop from pulling the wall, from pulling at the door, and they turn towards the noise. As they turn towards the noise, you can see that bulk of the skin that was extending from their backs immediately go right back into the bodies, and it looks like it. I'm gonna describe it in a Dragon Ball Z way. It looks like they just powered up because their entire frame just expands, and the one that's on the furthest end starts moving. They all move in unison towards that sound as your blade sailed past. So they're moving away from the door. The door itself
Okay.
is halfway down the hall. So Well, they were. What did I say? It was about 100 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So as they're moving forward towards the sound,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna grab the three that are there on the body, and I'm going to
Wait, what three? What are you talking about?
the three blades that severed the
Oh, okay.
head. So I'm gonna recover those,
Mm-hmm.
and what I'm going to do is over by the emergency door.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna quick,
Where the emergency door is where these guys are moving towards you.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where the emergency door is, I'm gonna signal to these guys to move back. Right. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go out of line of sight, and I'm gonna open the door and keep it open. So the
Wait, so you're going to go all the way back to the other end of the hall?
I thought I was at the emergency
Oh,
door.
yeah. I'm sorry. You're right. My
Yeah.
bad. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open the door so that way it could attract them towards the door, and I'm gonna move myself flat up against on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
So when they come through, they'll be paying it. Hopefully, they'll just be paying attention to the noise
Mm-hmm.
and go past me.
Okay.
And I'm gonna ask Id, what is he doing? What is he doing cleaning his hands?
Really? You with the...
I don't have military etiquette. I have no idea what the hell he's doing.
You know what this means.
Oh, that, yeah, okay. I thought you were like doing some military shit.
No, I'm going like this. Move back. Go
Okay.
back.
All right. Now, him telling you to move back doesn't translate into your actions unless you tell me that it does. Morgan, Id.
I'm asking Id. You're the police officer.
You're the bloody barrister.
I'm a police
No,
officer.
no.
I-
As a matter of fact, you're the bloody Bobby. They call them Bobbies.
Bobby.
I moved back a little, of course.
Actually, now they call them coppers.
No, whatever they call them, they're. He's just like you're the cop. But
It's more like fucking pigs.
all right, take it easy. And we just lost the cops. Not like they're watching.
We call them Trumpers.
Oh Lord, here we go with that. Okay.
At this point in time, we've lost every conceivable.
Oh yeah. We've lost them all. Now,
Equal opportunity bull.
We're a group. Of,
Okay.
we're a group of black and Hispanic. We never had the cops.
Right. that's true. Now,
Except for hunting season.
he waves
Oh my
you off.
God.
He waves you off, and then you can see him. He hits the door alarm with.
I'm opening the door. Keeping it open.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. You open the door. You had to hit that thing in order to open the door. So that thing's like meep meep meep, which that face that you have, Morgan, is just like exactly what Morgan actually has. He's just like, what the fuck is he doing? And this is something that you hear, Patch, as well. You can hear the alarm. Meep, 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 meep. And from where you were still moving, you went into that office and you found nothing, and you were making your way down that hall towards the end. You saw that thing as it rounded the corner. You guys, I will give Morgan, you make a perception check, and there's going to be a penalty to that, but I will tell you if you made it, and then you're probably going to make it relatively easy. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
So as you're turning, you can hear something. You can hear this it's the sound of a really wet mop across the floor, like, and you turn and you see one of those things rounding the corner, and it's moving towards you. It's like dragging itself along the ground and using the blood as sort of like a slip and slide. As it's coming towards you, you can see it's looking up at you guys. Its face hasn't completely swollen shut, so you can see a little glint of its eye as it's coming towards you. And you're like,
I'm gonna crack a smile and have my blade out.
Okay, and Ed, you turn, you're like, God damn it, I'm too old for this shit.
Pretty much.
You go straight
Hey, Danny Glover.
you go straight Murtaugh on this. So you guys get one opportunity to take an action before an initiative is rolled.
I'm gonna hit it with the blade. I'm not throwing it. I'm physically going to strike it.
Yeah, I assume that because you didn't say the word throw.
Okay.
I'm powering up my psychic shield.
Mower up. As long as you don't say bionics on, we're good.
Bionics. Oh, no. And then get
I
fried.
don't say it.
Okay. You didn't call a shot, so you just swing at it, and you scrape it. You cut it right along the back, and the thing's like, there's a spray of blood, hot. It's spray. The effect is it's essentially that of a fleshy, warm, hot water balloon that you just popped in your own face.
Yeah.
It's like, mind you,
You got some of it in your mouth.
So he got slimed.
The thing, it just like, and it just slumps over.
So I'm motion aid. Come on.
Now, Patch, as you're coming towards us, you just see a spray of blood.
So,
I'm gonna turn to Ed. I guess it was that time of the month.
I look. I
Okay,
look
so
back at him,
I'm
like,
gonna
really-
allow that comedic, that little saying to be what you hear, Patch, as you're rounding the corner. I guess it was
Like,
that time of
what
the
the
month.
I'm like, kid, you got problems.
Okay, at that point, you're both startled to see Dr. Acosta around the corner. It's like, kid, you got fucking problems. I had the fucking.
Wait, I had this inside me, of course.
Uh,
All right, so from the far end of the hall, it has the effect that you initially intended. In that you can see them as they're crossing the red light sources into the dark, into the red light. So you know what I'm saying? Like the light, dark, they come to a point where they're back at the door, but they're you can see all three. They're like in staggered positions, and they're staring at you, Sage. Well, not staring at you, but in your direction, because you have the door open, right? You're standing there.
No. What I did is I opened the door so it could stay open.
Yeah.
And I moved to the wall.
Oh, okay.
So they can move past me.
Okay, so if we're both picturing it, you're at the door, the hallway straight ahead from you. It's straight ahead and to the right. There's that wall, that corner wall on the opposite end. You're on that side of that wall?
Yeah.
Okay.
Flat against it, so that way when they come up the hallway towards the door,
Gotcha.
they move past me.
Okay. All right. Seraph, you get to the building, and as you're coming in, there's a spike in radiation, similar to the coffee house, similar to the Chinese place. It's building in that sub basement level.
Okay. I am making my way towards that position.
Okay.
I'm pinging him so it's not communication or breaking any silence. 'Cause
Gotcha.
I know he's down there in the belly of the beast.
Okay. Now, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And I just continue on my path there. I'll actually do it. No, in my solid form. Yeah.
Okay. You speed through. I'm thinking like a Matrixy. You're speeding right through the lobby to the stairwell to get to the bottom, and as you're hitting that hallway, the concentration of that energy is on the opposite side of the structure. It doesn't allow you to see through the walls, but you register it as a build. For you, Sage, so you're against the wall in that space between the red lights, right where the darkness is.
Yeah.
Right in front of you, one of them walks right out of that dark space that on the opposite wall. So the door's in front of you. Then there's a corner, and then it goes to the right.
Mm-hmm.
There's a space between the two lights where that's a patch of blackness. One of them just walks right through and turns towards the door.
Okay. So it's got its back to
So
me.
it essentially, it's not a horror factor roll, but it's one of those. It startled you because you didn't expect that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it caught you by surprise in that one moment as it comes out and then turns towards the noise. As it turns towards the noise, hold on for a second, please.
One thing though,
Yes, what are you doing?
I've got my blades out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
I'm assuming you did.
Okay. So I'm ready to try and take action on all three.
Okay.
If I,
All right.
I'm really just holding back to see if I see all three of them.
So just the one for right in that one moment, just that one, as it moves towards the door with a speed that is completely outside of the ones that you've encountered thus far. This one is more, it's more proportioned to the metamorphosis. So both arms are the same. It's massive bulk. It's similar to the ones that you were facing on the rooftop.
But this is more of a perfected kind of morph.
Correct.
All right. So seeing that, nothing will surprise me because I remember their speed. I remember their strength. So I'm assuming it's more. It's at least 10 or 20-fold more with this thing that's in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'm not saying as in agreeing. I'm just listening. I'm sorry.
No. I mean, I'm assessing that the danger is escalated much higher.
Correct.
So taking that into account, I need the element of surprise to try and get rid of them quickly. So
Okay.
I'm gonna wait to see if the other two show up in order for me to make a coordinated strike to try and attack all three at once.
Okay. For you guys, I need for all three of you to roll a horror factor. Morgan, Id, Patch.
Why are you doing this to us, man? Hold on, I'm trying to find where the horror factor is.
Combat.
Go to the combat tab and go down.
Y'all are using those character sheets? Wow.
I mean, they're functional with the exception of the initiative.
Yeah, only a couple of things that I fucked up.
Okay.
I don't even pay attention to them. I
like this character sheet actually.
I mean, with a couple
put
of
the
tweaks,
info.
it's a great. It's really
Yeah.
functional.
A few tweaks and that's it.
Actually, it's the best character sheet I've seen yet.
Shut up!
Even outside of the fucking Dungeons and Dragons sheet.
I'm just
And
messing
that's
with you.
fully developed.
Yeah.
It's a good sheet. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. Oh, he rolled a 1.
Wish y'all could see the Lost West character sheet.
Okay.
Who?
Say the
Lost
holiday
West
hoobie
character
whatty.
sheet.
Now,
I don't want to see no 80s vampire movie sheet.
the
Oh,
Lost
the
Boys.
journal.
What are you talking about? 80s vampire.
He's thinking you're saying Lost Boys.
I've obviously made use of this character sheet though because I have notes and everything.
The Lost West is a.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
All right, so let's. I want to focus because this is a tense part of the scene now. You guys are at the other end of the hall. So what happens is, as that one comes out of the shadow directly ahead, as you're all taking measure of the scene, You're still covered in blood. You're trying to figure it out. You're out of nowhere. Patch comes out and he says you got problems. So you're regarding him. When you turn, and right in the middle of the hallway, in the second patch of that space of that darkness, another one walks out. So it's in the middle of that hall, at the end of the hall. So that's what happens for you, Patch. You're just. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Stupid.
The fuck?
I don't know what the hell that
That's
was.
the way Spanky sounded when they were digging the thing into his fucking wound in his ass.
That's called you failing that horror factor roll.
All
He
right.
definitely took a crap now.
So you're just like, as this thing just it comes out of nowhere. This is not a tech related teleport. This thing just showed up, and it's turning. It came out, looked to its right and to its left, and sees you guys, and it turns its entire torso towards you and starts moving at a rate of speed that you're just like, holy shit! It's like this big. It's essentially a scaled down version of the Hulk, but its body is completely comprised of just viciousness emanating from its face. And it's just like,
I charge you.
I must succeed.
Oh boy.
All right.
Gore!
Now,
Let's see this on my peripheral, because I'm still up against the wall.
what the sound draws you, but remember, as a matter of fact, you're gonna need to roll perception because you're focusing on this thing to your right, and there's that sound of the alarm.
280.
Okay. You just hear, like that's just over the din of that, and your heart and your ass, and as you're just like, I better roll good, because if I roll a 1, I'm dead. You turn and you can see one of these things just it's already materialized, so it's moving towards your group.
Okay, so with a flick of the hand, 3.
Okay, you get that opportunity attack. So look at it, flick of the wrist.
This is just a multiple shot.
Mm-hmm.
That's 16 with 31.
I did that.
And that for me is a natural crit, so it's times 4.
Okay.
That would make it 48, 192, and 41, 233 points of damage
Okay.
to the head.
Oh, you didn't call
What
that.
Yeah, with a
I
dash.
thought I did.
No, you didn't.
Okay, fine.
All right, so you scream it out. No, I'm just kidding. So the other one's like,
No, I'm being as silent as fuck.
okay. You hit it and register it. You don't know that it registered anything, but all 3 of your blades sink deep into it. It's still moving towards these guys. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to Vona, and I'm going to end it here. I'm going to go back. When we come back, we'll resolve this section. Now, Vona, you're working your way through you finally got to the point where you AMA, and when you are done, you're walking out of the ER. There is a familiar figure, but it shouldn't exist. It shouldn't be here. You can see the girl. the girl that I think they would have told you. Her name is her call sign is Variga the Witch, and she's standing on the door frame to go out into the parking lot. You know how most emergency rooms, they lead out into a loading dock type setup where the ambulances come in and there's a small ramp to the right. She's standing right outside, and she's just staring at you. You can see her entire body is covered with the sutures. You know, she has the incision in the middle of her chest where they cracked it open in order to work on her. She's dressed in the hospital gowns and is just, she's looking at you. She's like, save them before it's too late. Out of her, it looks like they're coming out from behind her, like in true horror fashion. You can see these long black ethereal hands. They reach out from around her and grab her by the neck, torso, and waist, and pull her back into this black sphere. And she disappears.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
Okay.
Not after we know that would fucking work. Hell.
So
Oh yes, apparently.
with that, I'm gonna immediately call Agent Rivers.
Okay. So with that, I'm going to stop it here. And I think this is a good stopping point because I like to do that. What is we're going to go to with the next game, we're immediately going to go into initiative. Now, you did significant damage to it, Sage. You know that you did because you felt the weight of your righteous might as you threw your blades and they sunk into this thing, but it's still moving in their direction. And it didn't even look like it stopped it in any way, any of its momentum.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Now, for you, Seraph, when you finally get to the bottom of that staircase and you get into you get to the door where the hallway is, you can see another one exit another patch of the darkness. So essentially, they're in three spots. They're covering the space between your exit, your egress, your ingress, their egress. They're at the corner. There's one in the center there, and then one on the far right where Sage is. So they're all in three positions. They just came out of that darkness. This one, as it comes out, it looks to its right and left and sees you and immediately turns and moves in your direction. So that's where we're going to leave it with you and everybody else.
Okay.
All right. Well, I hope everybody had fun. I know I did.
No. No.
What? I don't know what you're talking about. This is
I
great.
didn't even get a chance to fight the monster.
Aw, poor Id. Yeah, like you want to. I guarantee you he's going to be like, I don't know if I can make this game.
Hey.
That is not fair.
He's like, I got stuff to do.
That is not fair to Quan.
I do work night shift.
Yawn. Anyway, all right. So for Crimson Sage.
Hold on, wait, time
What?
out.
Yes, go ahead.
Don't we usually run to about 12:30-ish?
Yeah, I know, but
Short.
shit's got to be done. Now, I will talk to you guys soon. And for Crimson Sage patch, because I know that the combat's going to extend longer. So I want to be able to give you guys enough time to resolve it. This is one of those non-moot combats. So I'll leave it at that. For Crimson Sage, Pat, Seraph, Id, Morgan, and Vona Lee, thank you very much for joining us. We wish you a fond farewell.